So, you weren't here last week, so we decided to just do a few minutes of current events, just so we can ride the back on that current event algorithm.
I think we should do a couple minutes of silence for the Queen.
We did that last week. But yeah, let's get the shillings out of the way as well. Like and subscribe. Come on, share the podcast. This is, the podcast. We look at memes from a year ago. We compare how things are today for how they were a year ago. See how the narrative has shifted. But yeah, let's. What's happened recently? There's a lot of talk about trickle-down economics this week, I've noticed. Have you noticed that?
There seems to be a lot of people saying "I told you so" when it comes to all of PM Liz Truss's new and improved economics plan, apparently. But I don't know. I don't know anything about it, and every time someone says something, something else seems to happen. So I don't really know much about the economics myself. But it seems that the pound is the lowest since the dollar was invented in 1792. But you got to spend money to make money. Break a few eggs. I reckon that's the vibe, right? You got to go. You got.
The term trickle-down economics was it was invented by the left as a sort of a caricature of more right-wing fiscal policy, which was aimed at stimulating the economy by reducing business rates and cutting taxes, so that businesses can afford to invest more in their workers, and that was the idea, that the wealth trickles down in that form. Whereas I think a lot of people are idiotic and think that the money literally will be put in your bank account or something. They don't understand that it means what it really means. It's like a boat lifts all tides rather than trickle down economics. So yeah, people have the stupid idea in their head that there's some guy on Facebook arguing that it's a Ponzi scheme. I'm like, it's not a Ponzi scheme. It's kind of the opposite of a Ponzi scheme. A Ponzi scheme is where you get people involved in something which is based on nothing, and you get your friends involved, and then the money accumulates to the top. Whereas cutting taxes for businesses is literally the opposite, because you're stealing less money from people. And also, I just feel like so many people these days assume that the government is better at spending your money than the free market is at allocating it, which is obviously not the case when you see what governments do with money.
Yeah, why would you have a buffer zone, an extra level of bureaucracy in between solutions and the funding is the problem with that. And what people don't understand is that the tax breaks and all that, obviously the people that pay the most tax are gonna get the most out of tax breaks. That's just kind of how it works. Obviously they pay more, they pay more tax anyway, so of course a tax break is going to help, and someone on 10k a year pays hardly any tax, so obviously they're not going to save thousands, are they? Here he is.
Oh, come on, England. Come on, England.
We're just talking taxes.
Taxes.
Trickle-down economics.
Rather talk football, but okay.
Maybe we need to do that. We need to top load the podcast with some football bants to get the mass market appeal.
Oh, England was positively shocking.
See that ludicrous display last night?
Yeah, I don't really rate England's chances of getting a trophy in November. I think we're just gonna have to rely on the women's team to get the cups. Because after what I just saw against Germany, no.
Don't we have
fallen off that much in a year?
Literally, apparently they haven't scored. So they scored this game, but before that, they last time scored against San Marino, and that was a couple months ago. So
So we
it's not looking great, and people are looking at Twitter. People are saying fraudgate out. So I guess Gaza's fallen off as well.
Don't we have like a really easy group though? Like, don't we have like Ukraine in our group and Iran?
Iran. Oh yeah, Iran is there. Let's see. World Cup 2022 groups.
I'm pretty sure it's like Wales. and
Right, so we got definitely Iran, but the other ones I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, there it is. England. Oh no, no, that's not. Oh, that's the Russia 2018 Cup. Fuck, I don't want that.
I think it's England,
Okay.
England, US, and Wales is what I've got right now.
And Iran.
Yeah, and yeah, England, Wales, USA.
Yeah, England, Wales, USA, and Iran. So
we should do
doable,
it
right?
that.
Yeah. I wonder, will it be the goat shaggers or the sheep shaggers who come top of that?
I think it'll be the burgers. England should come top of that group. I mean, let's be honest. And then burgers probably in second place.
Mm-hmm.
Either burgers or Wales.
And the goat shaggers coming in the rear.
I don't rate their chances. Whoever draws Iran in the fantasy what's it called? Fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Sweepstakes.
Sweepstakes. That's the one. Yeah. So if you drew Iran, you should ask the organizer if you can draw a second team.
I think I'm gonna bet on. I'm gonna put £1 on Iran to win.
I think they've got the sandy advantage.
It's not the World Cup's not in Iran. It's in Qatar.
No, but they're sandy. And they play on sand.
That's like saying any time the World Cup's like in a European country, it's European countries have an advantage because of similar climate.
Yeah, they play on grass.
It's like saying when they had the World Cup in like France or Germany, England's got an advantage.
I think that's reasonable. You only have to pop on the you only have to pop on the what's it called, the channel tunnel.
So the home field advantage is the home field advantage is mainly there because you practice on those very stadiums. So I guess there aren't any nooks and crannies when it comes to stadiums, but you know the stadium very well, and also the fans.
It's all about the fans, mate. I hope we get to see some football hooliganism in Qatar. I'd like to see how they deal with it.
Everyone's too fat and sedated to be hooligans. Maybe Eastern European fans. Like, are there any Balkan teams playing? Let's see. So they can kick off. I'm seeing Croatia, Serbia, in Group G, and that's basically it. Yeah, that's it as far as yeah. So don't get your hopes up for hooligans.
Wow. Right. Should we move on to the main course?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
You are recording, right?
No. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it. Hit it now. Right. Show me what you got for this week.
We got some classic Tim Farron posting.
Not this guy again.
I think this might be the last appearance. I'm gonna just. He's barred after this. Tim, you're barred.
We're shadow banning.
Get out.
We're shadow banning Tim Farron. Clear them out.
With Michael Lee, the CEO of amazing community-led company Barn, who provide hyperfast broadband to rural areas. Barn's future in Cumbria is under threat thanks to the government's Project Gigabit scheme, just about to lead a debate in Parliament to urge ministers to intervene.
Can we see how Barn the company is doing now? Just to see if the
What a
McLaren was
terrible
oddly
name.
prophetic.
It's just so odd. It's like he's championing some private company, but he wants the government to intervene. Why doesn't he just say, can the government just get out the way?
It stands for broadband for the rural north.
Oh, so it's alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world's fastest rural broadband. I didn't know.
I did hear
does
my
it face a
hometown
lot
is
of competition, that category?
Yeah, my hometown is supposed to be getting broadband soon, like hyper-fast broadband. Finally.
Is it a publicly traded company? Like, for instance, have stock, for instance?
Beef stock.
It's the north, innit? Like gravy.
Share price.
Project Gigabit, though, is a £5 billion government infrastructure project that brings together everything the government is doing to enable and deliver fast and reliable digital connectivity for the entire country.
Very nice. Well, I'm all for that. I support broadband for everyone. In fact, I might have to if the economy really goes to shit, I'm just gonna have to turn off my broadband at home and then only use the internet at work or something. Bring my laptop, torrent movies at work.
Yeah, I just don't understand what he means, though, because I don't know, is he just mates with the CEO and he's just now pissed off that government is providing a service that this CEO wants to provide, and now this CEO is not being able to provide it?
I mean, maybe he's because let's imagine the worst case scenario where government provides all the internet, right? Like Jeremy Corbyn style scenario where Corbyn nationalizes internet, and then poor Michael Lee goes out of business because not even out of business, all of his not equity, all of his liquidity just suddenly gets transferred to the government. Right, all of his assets. I guess. So maybe that's what Tim Farron was valiantly fighting against.
Anyway, let's move on. Tim, you bad. You will be not seen on this podcast again.
No.
Unless you do something really stupid.
The horror of Cumbria. The terror of Cumbria.
like admit on TV that you basically think homosexuals are sinful and then immediately have to resign afterwards.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was funny.
I liked him more after that.
Oh yeah. Yes. I was gonna say, are we gonna have a Italian election special? Just to dissect the results, because I don't really know how much of a big deal this actually is. I guess only time will tell. We have to wait for the first 100 days, which is why I do think we should have around December Giorgia Meloni's first 100 melons or something like that.
Yeah, let's do it.
And you could present it, like Giorgia Meloni's first 100 melons, colourful something.
It's the first time they've got who they actually voted for since 2006 or something. Instead of all the shitty horse trading stuff that happens usually.
Well, you mean coalitions and stuff?
Yeah, but they've had the Prime Minister is actually someone that people have actually voted for the first time since 2006. So that's probably given her, she's got a bit more energy to her than previous politicians, hopefully, or at least feels obliged to do the things that she said she did. She said she's alluded to.
Speaking of elections, we got a tweet here from.
Oh, election wizard.
Yeah.
He is.
Who wants to be citizen and who wants to be cop?
Oh, I'm not good at roleplay. You guys do it amongst yourselves.
Why are you doing this?
I agree with you. I'm just doing my job. I'm just as over this lockdown as you are, mate. But this is my job. I'm not skilled to do anything else.
As he shows you the way to the gas chamber.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm as over this World War II as you are. That's my job.
Walk around a supermarket in the US or Europe and you'll see some empty shelves once more. Supply chains are clogged at almost every stage between Asian factories and grocery stock rooms. It turns out offshoring supply chains and not being able to produce things in America that Americans need was a monumentally stupid idea. Naturally, it had the support of both parties and most think tanks.
And on that note, the countdown to dollar pound parity is on. It's on.
Oh, that we haven't done a bread price check in a while. What's the price of a Hovis loaf?
Hovis white loaf. Let's see how inflation resistant Hovis soft white medium bread 800 grams is.
I shit you not, it's still £1.20.
Oh,
it's still £1.20. I don't know how they did it. There's only been one price hike. Do you reckon that they were having like a massive profit margin? Like the Hovis CEO is like a fat cat in a suit with like a bowler hat or something, like the Monopoly man. And now, like, all that's happened to him is that he had to raise the price by 10p and like drastically slash his profit margins. And that's how he's coping with inflation.
They're probably making it with a mixture of flour and like, I don't know, bones.
That's what I fear.
Ukrainian dead Ukrainian soldiers.
Goodness me. On that note, actually, in the progressive utopia known as California segment, they recently legalized fertilizing plants with corpses, like human corpses.
I saw that, yeah.
Progressive utopia intensifies.
By 2027, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, it's gonna come into force.
Whatever keeps the price of Hovis white down. at any cost.
Oh my goodness.
That's a nice little segue, because the next slide is, in fact, about climate change.
Oh.
Food and drink firm uses carbon dioxide in hundreds of products, from fizzy drinks to bagged salads. Why is there CO2 shortage, and how will it hit food supplies?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, what was that about?
Shit. Well, I mean, it's a commodity like any other, right? So I don't know why CO2 was hit particularly badly.
CO2 shortage. Can't we pull some of that out of the atmosphere?
I was going to make some kind of a joke, like, luckily for us, there's not an NO shortage. Hey! But that would feel really inappropriate.
CO2 supplies, fires re-emerges, plant halts production. CO2 industry strikes deal to prevent shortages. Concerns over food shortages, CO2 deal ends. Food firm fear CO2 shut. Like, everyone fear, concern.
Yeah, if you type in, so there was something like how to like blow your mind with Google searches. If you type in like the right words, there's something like experts agree and like cause for concern or something like that, and then you just get absolutely mental set of headlines.
Imagine that world if everyone did fear what they said people feared, or like people be throwing themselves from buildings.
Yeah.
So because the fertiliser factories had stopped working, there had been a cut of 60% of the UK's food-grade carbon dioxide supply.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
CO2 in the UK is predominantly made in Ipswich, Billingham, and Ince.
This stream supports the Ipswich carbon dioxide industry. Stream proudly supports the Ipswich carbon dioxide industry.
It's used to slaughter animals.
Yeah, I remember they had to kill. They had to kill pigs a different way and then throw them all away because it didn't have the health and safety box ticked from.
Do you remember the great CO2 shortage of 2018? Because I don't.
It was great,
but that was caused by a heat wave, which increased demand for drinks and frozen products. Very strange. But yeah, apparently we're having a CO2 shortage simultaneously while CO2 levels are at record highs.
The use of the word "great" is so weird. They're calling the dead Queen Elizabeth the Great, which I don't really think is the most. I don't think it's really her style. Even that word, it's like a bit like her reign was just like the.
It is. It is a good question if Queen Elizabeth should get an adjective, right?
Yeah, I think like just the nice. Elizabeth.
The pleasant to be around. Elizabeth, the pleasant to be around.
Yeah, I feel like if you have the great in there, for me it suggests some sort of time of expansion and growth rather than decline.
Yeah. Oh well.
South Lake's climate change activist writes a letter from police cell. She describes being in a police cell as dehumanising and soul destroying.
Yeah, prison will have that effect on you.
That's women's prison.
They're the worst ones now.
Nowhere is safe.
You get all sorts of imposters, shall we say, for all those who play Among Us.
Risk of pregnancy is not zero. Yeah, this whole this global temperature anomaly graph, it's like they keep saying like, oh, it's the record temperature, but if you look in the past, like it's not
confidence limits
that
though
much higher.
Fucking hell! Like the shaded area.
But yeah, those are atmos.
What kind of standard error is that?
Oh, you should see the standard error on astrophysics models. Sometimes they're bigger than the values.
What is the point of your of your area of science then?
It's like this star is 10 light years away, plus or minus 100 light years. That's why I don't do star shit. I just, I make it in the lab and measure it there.
You like the small shit, quantum stuff.
Yeah, Biden there doing the little
switcheroo.
Climate change switcheroo. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we had we need a like updated version of this where it's Ukraine changing over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it in real time. This is how the sausage is made.
Just do
No. Do it. Do the flag. I'm sure it will let you do like top half or like a gradient from blue to yellow.
Just do Zelensky's face.
How do I choose the?
Go back to gradient.
Where is it gone?
Shape fill. Gradient. More gradients.
Here we go. So we want yellow and blue. Fascinating stuff, this, right?
Excellent.
What a terrible gradient.
Yeah, I think there's a way to make it like sharper, so it's not green in the middle. You have to play around with the sliders. Oh no! Now you're just adding more sliders. Oh fuck!
Here we go.
Ah, there you go. That's nice. That's lovely. That's lush.
How do I change the angle? 0. Is it that way or the other way?
No, 90.
Is it yellow on top?
No, I don't know if it's. I don't know if it should be turned.
I think it's blue sky, right?
Yeah.
Minus 90.
Ukraine, and if it is the other way, I don't think they'll have a coastline for much longer. So
yeah, perfect. 270, lovely. Did it decrease the font size slightly? That'll do. Lovely.
Okay, let's move on.
Hey.
Oh, stupid. That's always annoying to edit. Anyway. So
that's
I've
a
arranged
parody,
these.
surely. Surely Top Left has to be a parody. I refuse to believe that someone actually typed out those words. No.
Read it out while I look it up.
Why the term Jedi is problematic for describing programs that promote justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. They're meant to be heroes within the Star Wars universe, but the Jedi are inappropriate symbols for justice work.
I'm afraid it is real.
Hooray.
Scientific American, Jesus.
The mighty have fallen.
They're meant to be heroes within the Star Wars universe, but the Jedi are inappropriate symbols for justice work. What? they're not even really the heroes. They're kind of solely responsible for the destruction of the Republic.
I was gonna say I firmly support the theory that like they are especially if you watch the prequels, like they just fuck everything up.
They're a bit dogmatic, aren't they? Isn't that their main problem? They just sort of
and like blinded, somewhat hubristic as well, and their desire to like stay away in a way, kind of stay away and not get involved in the conflict. Just kind of then later on, when it's already too late, forces them to get involved in the conflict, and yeah, everything just goes to shit.
I think anyone that collects kids and calls them younglings is a bit past the pale.
Skywalker.
Yeah, because then the whole thing as well of like the reason Luke is like sort of the prophecies about or whatever is because he sees that there is still light in Darth Vader, right? He still sees it.
Which was kind of ruined by the whole killing children scene, right? Because Luke is like, I'm sure there's still good in him, and then Obi-Wan being like, have I ever shown you this footage in the security Jedi temple?
Yeah. But then Luke goes back on it in the non-canon episodes where he thinks that Ben Solo is irredeemable and tries to kill him in his sleep.
Just Europe is about to not recognize the referendums in Ukraine. This show does not recognize episodes 7, 8, and 9 of Star Wars as canon. And we shall vote so at the UN.
I still haven't watched Rings of Power, which sounds like a gay porno.
I haven't. I'm sticking to my no hate watching, rule, and I'm absolutely not giving it.
I'm enjoying a few. I'm enjoying the odd clip, and
apparently she's insufferable. The main character of Rings of Power. Apparently she's so ridiculously unlikable. And like she constantly behaves like a petulant child, but we were meant to be like, oh yeah, you go girl, but like in reality she's just so unlikable. Like no one would ever want to be that person's like friend or ally in any conflict.
Yeah, I've seen a few like people just shitting on it, videos and stuff, and it just looks like just very, it's the typical like all the men in it are stupid and all the women are amazing and. If you don't like it, you're a racist, so shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine spending all that money on the rights to something and then just to make it all up anyway.
Which is why, like, I don't know, there's some kind of money laundering operation or whether they literally are like, let's burn $1 billion to shit on Tolkien because we know that's what, like, that's like one of the last vestiges of Anglo-Saxon culture? Is that the right term? But like it's one of the last vestiges of Anglo-Saxon culture that's kind of withstood the corruption, shall we say, from Hollywood. So they're like, fuck it, let's blow $1 billion and shit on as much as we could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at least like with House of the Dragon, like it is kind of like having this. It has this sort of like feminist messaging of like women.
But it's having a revival because it's actually apparently not terrible, right? Compared to
it's
the
really
last
good.
2 seasons of Game of Thrones. Yeah.
But it's like the women are struggling against like the patriarchy, for lack of a better word. But it's not like they're winning against it because obviously that show is set before Game of Thrones, which already is patriarchal. So it's like they can't just stop it from being patriarchal. So it actually explores the struggles and like the fact that they can die in childbirth, so that there's all that kind of element to it, and it's it's not shit.
Good. I might actually start watching it then, because I keep hearing really good reviews, and I think we're like 5 episodes in.
6.
Well, okay, I got some catching up to do.
I think if you all right, well, I need to watch something. I'm gonna watch that gay porno thing. I think.
Did you watch Game of Thrones though? Because like the reason why I'm, shall we say, reticent to watch House of the Dragon is precisely because I know what they did with Game of Thrones. So the last 2,
I know, yeah.
In reality, 4 seasons were just complete and utter dog shit. And not only were they dog shit, they deliberately shat on the fans.
I did enjoy that. Like it was like a it was just a beautiful trolling, but.
But also, have you noticed that before like the last two seasons really have killed Game of Thrones off? I was astounded. Like within like a month after the end of season 8, what was it? Season 8. No one was talking about Game of Thrones anymore. Like it was an amazing example of just completely killing a cultural phenomenon. I don't know if you noticed that too, but like if you're like a Game of Thrones fan, you finished season 8, you were like, oh my goodness, what the fuck was that? And then like nothing, zero engagement, zero posts, zero videos. Like until they announced House of the Dragon, everyone was just like so done with Game of Thrones. It's amazing. Like no Comic-Con, no nothing. It like they basically just completely killed that franchise. It's amazing. It killed Game of Thrones. I'd argue worse than Last Jedi killed Disney Star Wars.
I'm gonna quickly see if, because you know how people were like naming their kids after a fucking show. I wonder if that.
Yeah, there's the problem. Like in Poland, there was a non-insignificant number of people who called their daughters Daenerys in Poland. And I bet you they were feeling stupid after the 8th season.
Just can't even look at their kid. Can't look at their kid. Can't look at their kids anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to understand Europe's populism, so I talked to Bono, the most out-touch elite class in human history.
Oh no. Yeah, I just found the article on like a Polish I don't know, mother kind of a website thing, like website for mums where they have like an article.
Yummy mummies.
Where something for young mums. Where in Poland in 2018. Oh no, it's talking about the US. Okay, so 163 people in the States in 2018 called their daughters Daenerys.
Sad.
Wow. Oh, 2,545 children in 2018 were called Arya.
That's even worse.
In 2017, in the UK, there were born 3 Daeneryses and 76 Khaleesi's.
Khaleesi's.
Yeah. So so by comparison, in 2016 in Poland, there were 8 girls called Arya.
That one I reckon you can get away with Arya. It sounds like a name that isn't just from.
So cumulatively in the States since 2011. The name Daenerys or Khaleesi was given to 3,562 girls. Like, they should have their own like reunion. I don't know if we discussed this, but like in Kosovo, there's like an annual reunion of all the kids who are called BLAIR. After the war there were like 7 or 8 parents called their kids, or maybe it could very well be into double digits, but like there's a certain number of parents who just call their kids BLAIR. And so those kids have a meetup in Kosovo, all the BLAIRs. And actually he attended at one point. He attended the meeting of BLAIRs in Kosovo. And patronize it, presumably. So yeah, I totally believe that all the girls who are called Daenerys or Khaleesi should organize like a support group, all 3,562 of them, and meet up every year.
What is this? When I call President Biden a retard on international news.
a hard R.
All right.
Oh, please tell me that's still there. Please tell me that hasn't been removed.
When I call President
I need to see it. Love the Irish accent.
Well, the person that we all need to be actually asking is the President of the United States, who clearly did a deal behind 41 coalition backs. He ignored 41 countries that were working with him. He turned his back on the leaders of every other country on the planet and did a private deal with the Taliban. And you know what? This is just This has been the biggest military blunder in the history of the planet, and I don't think any coalition company should ever again work with America if this is how it treats us. It kicks us, and I'm angry. I'm angry at the president. He doesn't seem to be in the right frame of mind. He's making decisions and destroying 20 years of work. 4,000 soldiers killed in Afghanistan, and you know what? And I've never said this out loud before, but I think the president of America is actually a retard.
Wasn't this a very
Amazing.
That was good. That was good.
This might.
I think the Irish accent makes it 10 times better.
I think you can get away with it, right?
Like, because I think I already started cracking up when he said, "I'm angry."
Yeah, I'm very angry. This Marjorie Taylor Greene meltdown reveals an uncomfortable truth about Christianity. What meltdown was that?
What meltdown was that? Do we really want to know?
She's like the QAnon one, right?
Yeah, so she's the one that I actually believe that there is an insider within the White House who sends cryptic messages to Trump followers, directing them what to do.
You telling me that's not real?
I would hold my comment.
They believe that the reason Biden looks so odd is because it's actually Trump wearing his skin.
I love it, because there was on the day of his inauguration, on like the 20th of January 2021, there was, I think, like a 20-minute delay between the EU and the US broadcast of his acceptance speech. Not acceptance speech, rather, of his inauguration speech. And so people started making stories that it's been like pre-recorded, but like actually Trump is in control, and this is just being screened. But in reality, patriots are in the White House. Yeah.
It's something to do about abortion. Boring. Legal experts say protests against vaccine mandates are being fueled by a pseudo-legal ideology that has ties to white supremacy and extremist groups.
Question: how can an ideology be legal, illegal, or pseudo-legal? Have you got a license for that ideology, mate?
They just mean the Geneva Convention, don't they? That's what they mean.
See you in Strasbourg.
Well, I was gonna say this was fairly well outlined at the Nuremberg trials, right?
That was it, yeah. Yeah, you can't coerce people into doing stuff with their bodies.
Yeah.
And yet they did anyway.
Yeah, they just did it anyway.
You got your fourth boosters, chaps.
Incredible.
The press is the enemy, the press is the enemy, the press is the enemy, the establishment is the enemy, the professors are the enemy, professors are the enemy. Write down on the blackboard 100 times and never forget it. Richard Nixon,
Absolutely
December 14th, 1972.
Absolutely based. The last based president, you could say.
You know, he's got a museum in California, and apparently no one ever goes.
Oh man, well, because he was the governor of California.
Yeah.
That's the thing, when it was still a Republican state.
Mm-hmm.
Before a certain other governor of California, who shall not be named, who later became U.S. president, just completely fucked it up.
Wait, who was that?
I'll give you a couple of guesses, but he was a Republican. Completely fucked it up.
So, Reagan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
One and done.
Like, that's it. Reagan's legacy is basically costing Republicans 50 electoral points that California gets every 4 years.
Oh, I hate Dave Rubin so much.
I agree with that. Well, here we're going to talk about classical liberalism. Well, I'm gay and I'm on the right.
That reminds me of that god-awful like Jordan Peterson political manifesto, which is just like angry boomer. Angry boomer wants to go back to 1992. That's basically what it was. Angry boomer discovers Ayn Rand That's how I can summarize Jordan Peterson's manifesto. You should watch AA's dissection of it on his
I've been meaning
cigar
to.
stream last Wednesday. My goodness, and it was only part one because the manifesto is so bloody fucking long. They had to like split it into two parts. So last Wednesday did the first half. But yeah, he legitimately like he still sounds like he should be in Command and Conquer, like giving you instructions to bomb the Nod base. Like that's the issue because he like gets really angry and because because in the past he just used to be the good doctor. Maybe it was the benzos, I don't know, but in the past he used to be the good doctor who calmly gives you advice on like how to clean your room. Whereas now he just turned into this like firebrand, like literally turning into someone who should be in Command and Conquer, telling you to like nuke the Nord base and like in central Russia. Unbelievable.
I like how he did a message. He did a message to Muslims. He did a message to Christians, but then he kind of left one big party out of that. He never finished that series.
Yeah, I mean he does work for Daily Wire now.
Yeah, they've got their own streaming service, right? And they've got that one Star Wars actor to act every single part and everything.
Wait, what?
No.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Gina Carano, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that Being John Malkovich bit, where he like goes into the brain of
From the Lancet, historically, the anatomy and physiology of bodies with vaginas have been neglected.
Incel that.
Yeah, not my reaction to that.
Not in my house, mate.
Wet as P word.
Yeah. No, who is that handsome gentleman?
You tried to get me to watch on my birthday last year, I think.
On your birthday? Oh yeah, happy birthday, by the way.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Yeah, I definitely recommend. I definitely recommend you listen to that audiobook. It's a great audiobook.
What is it? Him reading it?
No, it's Skeptical Waves reading it.
I think I read.
I don't.
Is that his manifesto?
Yeah.
I think I read that a while back.
Seminal work in anarchism.
Meet Noah Berlatsky, the Rutgers University Press published author working hard to normalize pedophilia.
I've seen that name before. Can we go back to the previous slide? I spy with my little eye. Where have I seen that name before?
Where have you seen that name?
Right there on the right.
Oh, they were to be together.
What?
There you go. Now the cat's out of the bag.
So he wants babies to be born so he can molest them. That's his whole thing.
That's his MO. And then question mark, profit.
It all makes sense now.
Double-sided meme. That's what he wants to do with kids.
Play Legos. Oh no, there's jigsaws.
Yeah.
They're actually called male and female, those parts of a jigsaw.
Don't anymore. One step out of you. They're already changing on puzzles as well as on cables and wires and connectors. It's not going to be standard anymore to call them male or female.
Well, they're even like changing like coding language, aren't they, for like master and stuff like that?
Yeah, you're no longer allowed to use master and slave as well.
Oh, this actually reminds me. Since we live in a world of word games, like, don't you think the right should stop using the word freedom and start using the word independence?
Yeah, I mean, freedom just sounds like libertarian, right? For freedom sounds like you just read Jordan Peterson's manifesto. You're incredibly energized to vote for Ted Cruz in the primaries. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what freedom to me means. Whereas independence, yeah, self-governance maybe, sovereignty. Now that In fact, sovereignty is almost Schmittian, right? Because Schmitt used to write, "Sovereign is he who decides the exception." Sovereignty.
Yep. Yeah, but that
It's
carries
almost
like monarchist
regal.
overtones. I'm trying to like do
So
it in a
you're
way that
making it sound like that's a bad thing.
no, I mean it's not a bad thing for us, but I mean for people on the other side, it's bad. If you say independence, it's like, well, you're for independence of the Palestinian people, so you obviously like independence. So I want my independence.
It's a bit of bridge. Yeah.
Are you coming at this with a mindset that you're gonna actually convince some people on the other side? You're just gonna go
No,
to
no, no,
them and
no.
say, hey, you like this thing, and you're consistent in your beliefs, right? You wouldn't be a hypocrite. You wouldn't only like this issue because it benefits your friends, and you're dressing it up as a principle, but in reality, you're completely unprincipled. You're a good person,
That's
right? I think if you're trying to tailor the language to like sway some like nebulous group of, I don't know, fence-sitting undecideds who would love to like give you their support if only you just change the word freedom to independence. I don't know. I think that's
I'm not
I don't
saying
know.
that. I'm saying that if you use the language of freedom, people on the left can mobilize those nebulous people to be like, oh, they just want the freedom to say racist stuff on the internet. Whereas if you say, no, I want independence, they can't go, oh, they want to be independent so that they can say racist stuff on the internet. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They don't.
Because the normies are used like a white blood cell response. Like, what are the ones that come and clean up all the crap afterwards? Those like cells that clear up all the
Like
waste.
macrophages.
That's the one.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
see
to
what
stop
you
you
mean.
from being eaten by the macrophage rather than as a convincing kind of thing. That's my sort of
Sure.
aim there.
I still think we should go with sovereignty. The problem is sovereignty just again has too much. I don't know.
But that was even like
It's
the
in
argument for
yeah.
Brexit, and that didn't really take hold. People were still, even if
Oh,
you
don't
said you
even
were for
get me started. I
sovereignty.
mean, Brexit's been bought and sold. Yeah. I mean, have any of the Brexit goals been achieved realistically? Like,
Well, no, we have Liz
uh,
Truss now wanting to up the immigration again.
yeah. So yeah, we can put that place it squarely in the bin.
We might have finally got rid of Northern Ireland though.
Right. What else have we got?
Bunch of COVID stuff. We've got the 12-year-old gets COVID vaccine as birthday gift. This is a serial killer origin story. Already looks like a serial killer, that kid.
Poor kid, though.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's because like parents just couldn't afford anything because of the like worsening economic conditions? So they were like, "Oh well, you can have this, but why don't you think of your health as like being the everlasting gift?" Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to steelman this as much as possible, but
Yeah.
Maybe they needed the free burgers or whatever they were handing out on that day.
Free donuts. The things people don't do for a Krispy Kreme.
New York to deploy National Guard to fill expected staff shortages as unvaccinated nurses and hospital workers will be fired effective tonight.
Is the National Guard just like the ultimate, like, we've ran out of people to do X, so we're gonna use the National Guard? Because I heard recently that there was the rail workers strike in the US, so they said, oh, they're just gonna get the National Guard to like pack the freight trains. And then the other day there was a couple of months ago talking about empty shelves. And again, someone said like, "Oh, the National Guard is gonna pack shelves." Like, at what point are people in the National Guard gonna be like, "I don't get paid to do this shit"? Like, I didn't sign up to the National Guard to stack shelves at Tesco's. Yeah.
Do you think these thousands of new IRS agents they've hired, were they required to be vaccinated or not?
I thought you were gonna say, will they be required to stack shelves?
Judging by the amount who were in wheelchairs, I imagine yes.
It is interesting though that the ones you only heard about like refusing vaccines were like nurses. Like why do they clamp down so hard on those people?
Mm-hmm.
But let's be real. Probably already have natural immunity from being like in the trenches, as they would have us put it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they. I think that's why they went down hard on them, wasn't it?
It's time to start firing unvaccinated people. Trump fans are an overdue for a lesson in consequences.
Nice bridge
Isn't
building.
This was written after January 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After they imprisoned thousands of people with no phone call.
No phone call, no lawyers, and very little legal presentation. No speedy trial. Just sit in jail and without bail.
Oh my god, look what it says under the image. Man refusing the vaccine and getting a pink slip from his job. Concept. Photo illustration by Salon/Getty Images.
I think it's for all the people who are vision impaired, so they can so you can read this to them, and they know it's in the picture.
And they can find out the left still can't. Even blind people know that the left can't meme. Left can't meme.
Blind person would have struggle reading it as well as seeing the image, though, right?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, who is that for?
Just to make sure you don't think it's a. This is a reconstruction based on true events. The vaccine. The vaccine. Top quality content. I guess that, let's check in on liberal democracy. I guess that was from Australia. Was that Australia? Oh, no, it says sued. Maybe it's Germany.
Yeah, or maybe Austria. Austria was getting quite weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, then this kind of Oscar Wilde quote just kind of refutes the sort of this mindset that you are selfish if you want to do what you want rather than what other people tell you. So selfishness is not living as one wishes to live. It is asking others to live as one wishes to live. And unselfishness is leaving other people's lives alone, not interfering with them. Selfishness always aims at uniformity of type. Unselfishness recognises infinite variety of type as a delightful thing, accepts it, acquiesces in it, enjoys it. Got a bit gay at the end.
But that's just that's anarchism, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an email I got. I know the pronouns have made it to Japan.
Oh.
I think it's an embassy though, so it's kind of
Doesn't count.
yeah. The thing is, they don't even have genders in Japanese, really. Like, so everyone's referred to as san, which is genderless.
Mm.
And Japanese people often confuse he and she a lot of the time.
Yeah,
It's not really a concept they have.
Yeah. Even the International Chinese Commercial Bank of China or whatever has bloody LGBT backgrounds on their work laptops and shit now, though. But maybe that's just the West.
Yeah. Yeah, I came to this country to get away from this nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I reckon Japan will hold out.
Yeah, it's two cent its ways. It was so bizarre last night though, because the train was like, in the UK usually there's somebody like running around telling people what's going on.
Yeah.
Like if your train's like 2 hours delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Literally none of that. It's just like everyone's just waiting there calmly. No one's asking what's going on. They're just like, oh, there's a delay. We'll just have to wait.
Oh wow! Did you make any friends?
No one talks to each other.
Oh. What about was there any vending machine stuff, shenanigans?
No, I didn't. The platform was just completely crowded. So.
That sounds so shit, mate.
But yeah, then a train turned up to take us the rest of the way, and then I think they just wanted people off the platform because that train didn't move for about 20 minutes as well. So.
Select all squares with a Fed. for killing me.
I think they're in every square.
I'm
Right?
back. Oh, the feds everywhere. My goodness, that picture glows. That picture doesn't even glow as hard as the Radium girls. Did I ever tell you the story of the Radium company? What they made, like in the 20s? They were drawing, what's it called, hands on clocks. On watches,
You
not
always
clocks.
go on about
And
these
really-
Radiant girls.
Yeah.
I always go. I mean, I guess I always go
think
whenever glowies
episode February.
are just whenever glowies are discussed. I always make the joke that the Radium girls probably didn't glow as hard as these guys. It's like my
I put a card
signature
into
joke.
the episode where we discussed that. We discussed that for ages, right? And then we were talking about asbestos a lot. That's that same episode, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Link in bio. Like link right here, top right corner.
Like and subscribe.
Far right corner.
The RSPCA said it had advised police to leave the deer as it would make its own way back home, but officers were concerned the animal would pose a danger to the public.
It's
Rare
coming
white stag
right.
shot dead.
It's coming
on
right
street
for
by
us.
police.
Leave the fucking
It's coming
deer.
right for us.
I do like that it's like a pale white deer. Like, is it meant to be a symbol? Is it like an omen? You know how, like, in the medieval times, you'd see a comet and, like, that would mean, like, that some, like, major war is coming or, like, a king's about to die or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
What does the white deer indicate? Is it
I
like
don't know,
an
but
occult symbol, perhaps?
In Game of Thrones, it's supposed to be a good omen for royalty. Something to do with royalty. Because, well, in
How
the Game of Thrones
fuck
world,
do you know that?
because I've watched House of the Dragon.
I thought it was meant to be
Okay.
something symbolizes the innocence of incels, and
The bit in Westeros, they were the symbol of royalty before
Besmirched by the
Targaryens
touch of
came.
a woman. The white stag marches on.
Horny white guys.
But why was it shot? Why was it shot dead? That's
it posed a threat to the
that's the
public.
real bad omen. Like, it was shot dead by the police. Do you reckon? Do you reckon the stag symbolizes the innocence of Ukraine or something, and the police shot it, and that you knew 6 months down the line it's gonna be a war? It's like shooting an albatross. You know, like if you shoot an albatross at sea, like, you're fucked. Like, it's like the worst omen that could possibly happen. It's even like referenced like the rhyme of the ancient mariner, where like a guy shoots an albatross with a crossbow and like fucks everything up. Like the ship like sinks 3 months later or something like that. Like, you just never shoot an albatross.
Or eat a swan.
it's considered a very good omen. The white stag is considered to bring good
Well,
luck
not
to those who
anymore.
spot one.
Not anymore.
It's very rare.
Yeah, shot dead by the police. Unbelievable.
I bet that if it was,
Yeah,
if it
my
was,
reaction.
I bet if it was a black stag, it would be all over the news.
I'm not going there. Moving swiftly on, as my reaction is bottom right hand corner.
Congratulations. Now every time your immune system is challenged, you'll need to pay for boosters to stay alive. Your immune system has been turned into a subscription service.
I love the format of printing Fortune posts and just posting them. I'm in love with this format.
We haven't had a Rule 34 for a while, but that one just speaks for itself, I think.
You know, as a side note, for a Pokemon that's basically trash that you just find in the ocean, Tentacruel is actually surprisingly competitively viable. Just as like a comparison, like a Zubat is dog shit, right? And none of Zubat's evolutions, with maybe possible exception of Crobat, but not
Crobat's
really.
got,
Crobat's
got
sick.
some serious speed.
Yeah, but whereas Tentacruel is an incredibly solid Pokemon. It's got in Generation 1, an absolutely mind-blowing special stat. Then after the special split, It had incredible special defense, pretty good typing, fairly bulky, has access to spikes and rapid spin. Like, honestly, for something that you just find in the sea as like the sea version of Zubat, it's incredible.
Yeah, I think water and poison's a
Next
pretty
time-
strong combo as well, isn't it?
Yeah, so next time you're running a Pokemon Gen 1 Nuzlocke run or something, or some kind of special special run, or you just decide to play it because it's a great game, do yourself a favor and just catch that fucking Tentacruel that's annoying you in the sea, and it will pay off.
First shiny I ever caught was a tentacle. It's got little green bits on it where its red bits are.
Ooh.
I nicknamed it Tentagreen.
The real tragedy for me was I caught a shiny Staryu on my Silver, and then I had the battery ran out and it just disappeared. So a couple of months ago I had to resolder a fresh battery onto my Gold, Silver, and Crystal. It's a bit of a ball ache, but I guess I taught myself how to solder, which is a useful life skill. You never know in the upcoming months whether I'm gonna have to be a chief solderer at some kind of widgets factory for upcoming World War III, so at least now I have some experience.
Or if you're in the National Guard.
Stacking shelves at Tesco.
Hovis white bread. Just
Stacking Hovis white bread made from cricket flour.
Okay. Next time on Memery Hole. Pip, Pip, what's all this then? Running from an officer of the law? That's a tasing, that is.
Officer Big Chungus.
PC Chungus. Who has the most coherent and comprehensive model of the bizarre state of our current world, in your opinion? Nassim Taleb. Michael Malice there, posing as the three gym leaders from Pokemon Go.
No, but also Sheath Underwear. Do you reckon that's actually him? Because in the past he would get some kind of royalty-free sort of generic picture of like a skinny guy with a six-pack, and then just Photoshop his face on it. So this very well could be his face, but not his body.
Well, he was working out loads, or talking about working out loads, I guess.
I don't think he's been working out since he moved to Austin.
Yeah, this was before that. Or just well, I think this was released then, but I think he was modelling it months before because he was talking about it coming out for a while. Or the new Aladdin movie starring Justin Trudeau.
Arabian Nights, look Arabian Nights.
Breaking. Facebook leaked internal memos indicate that the site was brought down by disgruntled systems admin Samuel Hyde, allegedly displeased with the path company was taking in recent months.
Oh, this is when there was a Facebook outage for like a couple of days, wasn't it? I remember that bit from last year.
Yeah, and there was that woman who came out, and then that's when they changed to Meta, right? Because there was like this whole allegations of... Yeah, that's when they changed to Meta.
I think that woman was... Oh yeah, maybe. Very well, you could very well be right. That Facebook whistleblower. When was that?
Yeah, that was this time last year. Or November. No, yeah, end of October time. I never wanted to be a whistleblower. But lives are in danger. Yeah.
Francis
Squared.
something.
Francis Hogan.
Francis Hagen. Yeah. She's the one.
Cool, so we've got that to look forward to next week.
nice. Whistleblower
So looking forward to it.
also sounds like an innuendo.
Well, isn't that like a Flo Rida song or something?
I don't know.
Cool, we did it.